You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it Turnpike Miles. Yeah, it's Bukuras signing on, John to the Hancock, and I'm always key, I'm ready to unlock.
Welcome back, everyone, to the newest edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Gianlutis, and guys, as you can see, we have a very special guest for you here this Sunday. He is an incredible speaker, but he is also the incredible president of Ivy Scholar Success, which is an educational program helping international students. And guys, we're gonna get into that, but he is also an incredible scholar himself. And he brings so much to the table, guys. I'm so happy to have him here on Once a Week. I give you Cochise Pearson. Cochise, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Billy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me the golden opportunity to be here.
No, I love it. I'm so happy to have you. And guys, I've talked to Cochise for maybe over a year now or so, it seems, and we connected over speaking and opportunities in that aspect. But Cochise brings so much to the table on confidence that I wanted to get him here for you to help spark your own confidence and how you can step into the level, as Cochise will say, of supreme confidence.
Absolutely, absolutely, Billy. One thing I have learned over the years is that, a lot of people, unfortunately, don't have confidence. But what I have found, based on my research, is that, we all have this internal switch. And what I mean is that, when you're faced with a situation, you're able to turn on that switch and you become not only confident, but extremely confident. Like, for example, I am a big Boston Celtics fan. I mean, I love the Boston Celtics, okay? Larry Bird, we're going back to the 1980s. And I say Larry Bird because what was so unique, Billy, about Larry Bird was that during a game, Larry would be so confident that he would walk over to the opposing team.
Right.
And he would say, I feel like dropping like 30 points, 40 points. Yeah. Okay. And just walk away.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And I mean, he just had that level of confidence and he backed it up.
It's true. It's very true. That's why I love Larry Bird in the sense, because there's so many examples of that, because he was one of the greatest trash talkers in the game.
Absolutely.
But because of the confidence, he backed it up. Like that example of calling them out and saying like, hey, I'm going to do this, or I think there's so many examples where he came down for a buzzer beater and he would tell the person guarding him, I'm going to go this way, turn around, do this, dribble this way, and then shoot it. And they'd be like, what? No. And then he spot on would do it. Or, I got to it's Larry Bird, I give him credit, where the 3-point contest was probably the most confident thing he did, where he won the year prior. So he came in and he didn't take his warm-up off.
Right.
But he goes into the locker room like, all right, who's coming in second?
Exactly. History.
Right?
Yes.
But it's the confidence factor.
It's the confidence factor. Exactly. And I love, telling that story because, I want people to know that, you have the ability to change your life.
Yeah.
But you have to believe it. I can't be the one to empower you to believe in yourself. Okay, you have to be able to really dig deep to make it happen. Like, for example, okay, I'm doing some research on this young lady, Zara Stratford. Okay, she is 19 years old. And she's a pilot.
Yep.
Okay, and she just broke the world record in terms of flying her plane around the world.
Wow.
And what's so fascinating about this young lady, Billy, is that I found that during adversity, she was able to go from confidence to supreme confidence. For example, she was flying in the airspace of North Korea. Okay, and she was communicating with her team. And this young lady, she's like thousands and thousands of miles up, in the sky. And her team is communicating with her, saying, Zara, do you know where you are? You're like going to violate airspace, and you can get shot down. So she had to pivot to fly to South Korea. Okay. And this young lady, I mean, she was flying for like over 6 hours over the ocean. She kicked in from confidence to exuding confidence. I mean, she was faced with adversity. There was a possibility, Billy, that she was going to be shot down. But she maintained her composure, and she made it happen, and she got that world record.
That's awesome. I love that where you mentioned she maintained composure and she had to pivot. Because I think with all of us, everyone watching right now, regardless of what level you see your confidence at, whether it's you're exuding it as Cochise has described, or you're at, in your own eyes, you might not see yourself as confident. You're at a lower level. Being able to see the moment that you're in and responding differently than you might have before. Trying to respond in a more confident way, a more positive way, so you can grow through that moment. As the example we just gave, where that's kind of a life or death situation.
Yes.
You have to pivot. You have to respond differently. It's not saying you guys are going to be in a life-death situation. However, if you feel that you need to grow your confidence in some way to reach the supreme level that Cochise just described for us, how can you respond differently so you get a different result? And I think it's those results that we get out of those moments that keep our confidence growing.
Absolutely.
The self-esteem growing, as she did. All right, the result is either I don't do this and potentially get shot down, or I break a world record.
Right.
All right, let's go break the world record.
Exactly. Exactly. Right? Yes. But also I want to point out, it's not just about like breaking a world record, but it's all about investing in yourself. And what I mean by that is that, unfortunately, I lost my wife, due to colon cancer. Okay. And there were moments, Billy, when I was feeling, really down. And there were, many days, weeks, and months, that I would be crying.
Yeah.
Okay. But I had to really take control. And that has a lot to do with confidence. And what I mean by that, Billy, is that, I had to turn a sad situation, okay, into something good. And I had to invest in myself. So I started investing in myself by working out on a regular basis. And I tell people, all the time, that if you are going through a struggle or some type of debilitating experience, working out, well, for me, okay, it has really helped me to move forward in life, because I am not sad like I was when I lost my wife due to cancer. I'm able to get up in the morning, instead of crying, I'm able to get up in the morning with a smile on my face and go to the gym and meet very positive people such as yourself.
I love that. And I was going to build on that, because I think your story in that aspect, you lost your wife and everything, to see how much positivity you bring to people, whether it's me and you passing by in the gym or something like that, or you being on stage helping an audience. As you said, exuding confidence, you also exude that positivity. But to be able to respond when that adversity comes allows you to start to walk in that positivity. As you said, you're investing in yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? The gym is an investment in yourself. And, if someone's a gym goer, that's you investing in yourself. But Cochise, you do something differently that I've been able to grasp from you after knowing you is, yes, the gym is investing in yourself on a body level, but you, as you gave the example of the pilot, you read so much.
Absolutely.
And that is such an investment in yourself. And I only bring that up because some people watching might not be the biggest gym goer.
Yes.
But when you actually dedicate time to investing in yourself in some way, to better yourself, it starts the momentum. And I believe, in my eyes, that's where the confidence comes, where you can get through the adversity.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely, Billy. Very, very well said. Yes. And another example that I want to bring to your attention is that, when you invest in yourself, I mean, there's big rewards.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, like for example, I'm a fan of boxing. I mean, I love boxing. I grew up in Massachusetts, and I loved Marvelous Marvin Hagler from Brockton.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and huge boxing fan. And I remember Floyd Mayweather, who is a boxing icon. Many people don't realize that, back in the day, this young boxer, he wasn't making a lot of money.
Okay.
Okay, and he had like this agent that was telling him that, if you want to leave me, you got to pay me $1 million. So Floyd felt like, hey, if I am going to be like a multi-millionaire, okay, I got to invest in myself. So he was working diligently, Billy. I mean, he was like, fighting on cards, making like $200,000 here. The next fight, let's say like another 150,000. He got that $1 million up, and he was able to buy out his contract.
Okay.
He's like, Billy, here's this $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to be able to be solo here. And because of his investment, when you Google Floyd Mayweather, he's worth over $400 million.
Oh, sure.
And the reason why I share that, because he was able to realize that I'm worth more.
Yeah.
Okay. But for me to get there, I have to believe it. Yeah. I got to have the confidence. I got to invest in myself.
Right.
And when you're able to do that, that's when you're able, Billy, to reap the rewards.
Oh, for sure. I completely agree to that. And I wholeheartedly believe that, where when you value yourself, when you invest in yourself, when you take a shot on yourself, life responds.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Doors open, opportunities flow in. I love the term abundance, because abundance in some way flows in, whether that's money, whether that's love, whether that's the area you're trying to move in life. You got to take the step for yourself.
You got to take the step for yourself, and I agree with you 100%. You have to be able, Billy, to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
I tell all my clients that the biggest factor why we're not able to have a breakthrough is because of fear. I'll tell you a brief story. I remember I was a board member at this school called Dorchester Collegiate Academy. Okay, this was about maybe like 6-7 years ago. And we had like a speaker who confirmed that she would actually be the guest speaker, for the graduation class. Okay. And 2 weeks prior to the ceremony, she said that she can't make it. Now I'm sitting at this table, with very successful professionals. I'm talking about professionals that have like their CPAs. I'm talking about vice presidents. And I always assume, Billy, that when you reach a certain level professionally, that automatically, you are like a poised speaker. That was my assumption.
I get you.
So the headmaster is looking around, at the board, the board table, and looking at, all the board members, and no one volunteered. And I'm like, what's going on here? This person's a VP, and this person, got their CPA. So I looked the headmaster right into his eyes, and I said, hey, I can do it.
Yeah.
And he said, you sure you want to do this? And I looked at him, and I said, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, and what I have realized, Billy, is that, people have fear of public speaking. People have fear just in general. And I tell people that you step outside your comfort zone, but you prepare yourself.
Yeah.
So I worked on my topic, I practiced, I had my wife and my daughter, to critique me.
Yeah.
Okay, they had taken out their red pens.
Awesome.
Okay, and my daughter loved it because this was the opportunity for her to not only to critique her father, but to make fun of her father.
There you go, right?
You need to, emphasize this point.
Yep.
You need to do a better job when it comes to, eye contact.
Yep.
So this is my audience. This is how I prepared myself.
Yeah.
So on the night, of this special ceremony, I was able to deliver. Okay, so I went from having confidence, Billy, to exuding supreme confidence.
Yeah.
And I got a standing ovation.
Phenomenal. Yeah, I love that. That's you seeing the opportunity and taking it, but obviously practicing for that opportunity so it would be a success. I think there's so many opportunities throughout our day where we can respond that confident way or do something different. And I want to bring it back to your comfort zone topic, because if we stay in our comfort zone, we don't grow the confidence.
Absolutely. Billy, you have to be able to step outside
Yeah.
your comfort zone.
Right.
You know, I tell everyone, like all my clients, like if you want to be able to go from point A to point B,
Yep.
you have to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
If you are reluctant to
Right.
challenge yourself,
Yeah.
you are not going to grow.
It's true. It's very true. And we could say that on a speaker level, but that could be anything.
It could be
It
anything.
could be in the gym, as you said.
It could be in the gym. It could be like Zara, the pilot.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna fly around the world. Okay, but she went through this period of preparing herself. Or it could be like Mayweather.
Yep.
I'm gonna invest in me. I'm not gonna allow you to tell me that I'm not, worth
Yep.
more.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna buy out my contract. Or it could be like Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows Larry Bird, when you're speaking with him, when you're interviewing him,
Yep.
he's a very modest person. Very, very low key
Yep.
during the interview.
Oh yeah.
But when he plays basketball, it's this switch.
Switch. Exactly.
He goes from like Larry Bird to confidence to exuding supreme confidence. I feel like dropping 30 points on you.
Right.
That is supreme confidence.
I love
and backs it up.
Oh, wholeheartedly, right? I love that. And I love how you mentioned the switch, because even in my own clients and you can even say my own studies in some ways, every single person has that switch.
Absolutely.
And I've got young clients where I work with these families, and these young clients between the ages of 8 to 11, I hear the stories of them in their baseball game, or one of them's a singer in the chorus, and it's the parents are seeing in these moments that switch.
Yes.
They see where it's like these kids just hone in, and they're so determined. And yes, in an athletic perspective, or when an opportunity comes our way, we hone in, as in whatever regard someone watches this connects to them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the switch.
That's a switch. But when you're working with kids, I always tell people in general is that you got to have like a different approach, because words are powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, and kids are very sensitive. Okay, it's not what you say, it's how you say.
Right.
How you say it. So when you're working with kids, kids are just so precious, and you have to be able to make sure that when you're coaching them, that it comes from the heart, and you're not being very negative, and you're not just being over the top.
Yeah, wholeheartedly. And I find that as much as we all have that switch, as much as I believe it's the comfort zone that brings a haze over that switch. However, I say to my clients, no matter what age they are, if you don't quit at something, you succeed. You succeed, you grow into who you're meant to be. So whether you look at that as an external endeavor, like your own business or athletics or the gym or whatever it may be, on a self area, when you start to take steps of confidence, even if you feel like you have no confidence at all, trying something new, if you can get through the fear, which you mentioned earlier, and the fear of that, and the fear of the comfort zone and everything, that haze starts to fade.
Absolutely.
You start to get more in tune to who you are, to who you're meant to be, which is meant, in my eyes, to be the confident person that sees the opportunity and grabs the opportunity.
Yes, you have to be able to grab it. You have to seize it. And what I mean by that is that there's one example when you have Canelo, one of the greatest boxers currently, Canelo. Okay, and he's been able to achieve great success. And he just recently had a fight he had a fight with this Russian fighter named Bivol. Okay, and everyone was saying that Canelo was going to beat this guy from Russia. And the odds were just totally against Bivol, the fighter. And Bivol, the fighter, shocked the world 2 weeks ago. Okay, because everyone was betting on Canelo. Okay, and Bivol, he stepped into that ring, and that switch, that internal switch. Just if you Google the fight and you just look at his facial expression, you can see a man of supreme confidence. Everyone was against him. Everyone was saying that he was going to fail. Everyone was saying that he was going to be defeated. But this guy, he went from confidence to exuding confidence, and he was able to win that fight.
That's awesome. Now, it brings up two questions now that I want to ask you, how can someone watching this right now turn that switch on? And then how do you yourself turn that switch on?
Well, I tell people that if you want to be able to turn that switch on, you want to move forward to do an activity that stimulates you.
Nice.
Like, for example,
Yep.
like, when I lost my wife,
Yep.
okay, it was very important, for me to do something really positive, such as working out.
Yep.
Okay, because when you work out, it's a natural high.
Right.
Okay, if working out is not for you, okay, I had a conversation with a young lady who was very religious, okay, and she was going through a hard time, Billy, because she lost a family member, and she just stopped praying, and so, I told her that it would be good, for her to go back, to praying, because, whenever she would pray, on a regular basis, it made her feel really good.
Right.
Okay. And her and I, we prayed together.
That's awesome.
And because of that experience, because of that spiritual collaboration, she felt good and she got back on track.
Yeah. Okay.
So I tell people that you gotta come up with some type of like hobby or activity, okay, that will stimulate you and you stick with it like glue, Billy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And that's the key element.
That's awesome. And I completely agree with that. And I find to connect that to clients that I have had or even audiences, as much as everyone is individual, there's only one you watching this video right now. There's no, in the 7.8 billion people in the world, there's only one us, one specific person. However, there are specifics to you, hobbies, interests, positive moments that spark you, that bring on those positive emotions like joy, love, peace, contentment, whatever it is. And there's a whole list of that. But if you can find what brings you that joy, what brings you that positivity, as you touched on, and then just let that guide you, as praying did for this girl, as fitness did for you.
Yes.
I believe we all have intricately those specific things that help us feel just a little bit more peace in the day.
Absolutely.
When we can elevate ourselves to do those activities, to stay in that peace, that joy, that love, whatever term you want to use, you then can take steps in confidence and positivity and just let life bring you back to where you're meant to be, out of the negative perspective.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Yes. Out of the negative perspective. And once you're able to take one step at a time, your confidence will naturally grow.
Yeah. Right?
Okay. But it's all about progress, though.
Right.
But you got to stick with it.
Exactly. Yeah. Wholeheartedly. And that's why I say the phrase to everyone where if you don't quit, you succeed. You win. And if there's a lot of people out there, look, whether it's a team, whether it's an individual, one way or the other, if you're putting the work in consistently and you just say, I'm never giving up on myself, I'm never giving up on this task, goal, whatever it is, you will get there. And you're an avid reader. You can date that back to everyone that ever made history. They never quit on their goal, no matter what their goal was.
Yes.
Success was there.
Exactly.
Whether that's a task, an external task, or an internal task of confidence, just try. And that's why I just try and just watch what comes into your life, because that's when the door opens.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I am an avid reader, and it's so important to read because you broaden your horizons. I mean, I finished this book that was about Steve Jobs. Okay, the guy behind Apple.
Right.
And what's so really fascinating about Steve Jobs is that he lived in a society that always highlighted the importance of a college education. A college education is very important, but it's not the only requirement, that will enable you to succeed.
Right.
Okay. And he encountered countless naysayers. You need a college degree. He was at Reed University, in Pennsylvania, and he believed in his product. He believed in his dream. Okay. Steve Jobs is a college dropout. And at the age of 25 years old, this guy was worth over $300 million. Okay. And I share that because, he believed in himself.
Right.
So it's not just about Steve Jobs, but also Mark Zuckerberg. Who is as we know, the CEO of Facebook. Okay. Bill Gates.
Right.
The CEO. Okay. Of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Okay. Both of whom attended Harvard University. And I have met, so many, young students over the years, okay, that will like cut off their finger to get into like an Ivy League, like Harvard.
Right.
But we have like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, both of whom dropped out of Harvard.
Right.
And they encountered countless naysayers. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? And they became not only millionaires, but they became billionaires. But it's not about the money, it's about believing in yourself. Exactly. It's about believing in your dream and Billy making your dream a reality. And that goes back to having confidence.
Wholeheartedly. And you and I have talked about this before, and I think it echoes right now where we all have our story. Right? You've got your story that with your wife and being able to get through that struggle. I've got my story with my own struggles to get through that and continue on the path we're on to our goals, to the dreams becoming a reality, as you just said. One thing that I've loved about your habits and your routines, as much as you're in the gym killing it, is you read about these incredible success stories that we all now know about. All those names you just mentioned, those have become, in a way, household names. But it's reading that story, and I bring this up because I want someone to take this. If you can read about someone that sparks you, it inspires you that you can do it too. And I think when I've read those stories and read those books and everything like that, it sparks me to say, like, all right, I can do what I'm set out to do. But it also brings the question of, why not me? That, to me, builds so much confidence in people because you're here. There's only one you. That, to me, is a sure-cut sign that you have something to accomplish here on this planet and in this journey that you're on in your life. Why not take a step for it?
Absolutely.
And if someone asks that question of why not you, and you do not give in to the naysayers, as you just brought up, you do not give in to the external world telling you, oh, you can't do this and trying to limit you, and you step into the unlimitation of your own ability, you start to realize, like, okay, what can't I accomplish? There's no answer to that question because you can accomplish whatever you go towards.
Absolutely.
That's confidence.
Absolutely.
Right?
Very well said, Billy.
Just taking your energy. But I want people to sit on these thoughts. So I'll ask these last few questions and we'll close it out. But what's a message, as much as confidence is the factor, supreme confidence is the factor, what's a message you want to leave with people where they can take this, and it might not be the entire story they take a step on, but something they can take from this video to guide them through the rest of this week? What would you say?
I would say, I love the story of Ursula Burns. Okay. I read this book by Ursula Burns, and the title is Where You Are Is Not Who You Are. And it's a very powerful book because Ursula Burns is the first Black CEO of Xerox Corporation. Okay, a 500 Fortune company. And I say that because here is a woman who grew up in poverty. She grew up in a single family household. Okay, she had a mother who never made more than like $5,000 per year. Okay, but a mother who actually believed in her children. Okay, Ursula grew up with an older brother and a younger sister. And what's so unique about her story is that, yes, okay, she was poor. Okay, and yes, the odds were against her. But see, she always believed in her abilities. Okay, she always made sure that she stepped outside her comfort zone. So my message to people in general, you got to be like Ursula Burns. You got to be like Mark Zuckerberg. You got to be like Bill Gates, okay, as well as Steve Jobs. You got to step outside your comfort zone. And Billy, when you're able to do that, that's when you're going to see success.
Yeah, I love that, and I wholeheartedly agree to that. And it brings up a connection in my head where you got to be able to believe in yourself. I think that's where confidence stems from. But as much as we mentioned the prior question with the naysayers and everything like that, if you have that one person that believes in you, like you just mentioned her mom. Her mom believed in her, no matter what her mom was going through. She didn't let those struggles stop her from inspiring her daughter to believe in herself. And then her daughter learned the trait of believing in herself to where she became an accomplishment. So I only say that to connect to you guys right now watching, where you are the first person that needs to believe in yourself wholeheartedly. Occasionally, that's a struggle, especially for young kids. The first person that needs to believe in them is a parent, is a teacher, is someone outside the box, so they can learn the trait and the characteristic and the skill of believing in themselves to take those steps forward. So for you watching, if you believe in yourself wholeheartedly, and if you don't, I can tell you right now, there's two people that do believe in you. But at the same time, if you're a parent watching this, infuse that into the kid. If you're a coach watching this, you have an entire team of people, no matter what age, that need you to spark them with that confidence. And that's when they can take it and run with it into whatever direction it is. But Cochise, I love you bringing that up. One last question is, where can they find more about you?
Yeah. Well, today, 2022, because of today's technology, just Google. Just Google. You can find anyone on Google.
Yeah,
I mean, if you haven't communicated with, let's say, a friend from middle school or high school, all you got to do, if you know the first name and the last name,
right,
you Google that person. It's amazing. I mean, Google,
right,
I mean, you can find out so much information on someone.
Yep.
And I tell people, that if you want to be able to find me, you don't need for me to give you my cell phone number.
Yeah.
You Google Cochise.
Yeah.
Okay, information will pop up.
Yeah.
Cochise Pearson, my website will pop up.
Yeah.
Okay, as well as my cell phone number.
Yeah. There you go. They're set.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So just Google.
Yeah, okay. Google Cochise Pearson. You'll find everything you need on him. Something cool to add to that, guys, is I mentioned in last week's video at the very end. I'm going to mention it right now. June 23rd, we have the next installment of the For You 22 event, a self-improvement seminar. And as much as I spoke at the first one, and I'm going to be speaking at this one, Cochise is also going to be speaking there on Supreme Confidence. So if he sparked you in any way right now to take a step for yourself, you'll have the link in the bio of this video where you can grab a ticket to come see Cochise speak, to come see me speak alongside him and build you up to turn the rest of 2022 into your year. Because that's the goal of this entire event, and to have me and Cochise speak to me, that's an opportunity that I love, where it's like, hey, let's go. We're going to blow the roof off the place. They're still trying to put the roof back on from the last event. But guys, you're going to find that link after this. You can Google Cochise, and you're going to have all the information you need to take that step for yourself and continue learning as much as he's an avid learner just as much. But Cochise, I thank you so much for being here and bringing this positive message, bringing this supreme confidence, and showing people how they can take that step and turn that switch on for themselves.
Yes.
So I thank you so much for being
here.
Well,
I thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here, Billy. I mean, you're such a wonderful person. Who would say no to Billy?
Phenomenal. No, I appreciate it. And it's not going to be the last time you're on, because I feel that you bring so much to the table. I want people to continue to gain insights from you and learn, because that can only help them taking steps forward.
Yes.
But I thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Of course. Guys, I thank you so much for tuning into Once a Week this week. Please like this message below. Hit that thumbs up button. If this sparked you in any way, or someone popped into your head when Cochise or myself is speaking, that's your sheer-cut sign that they could take something from this video just as much. Please share it to them, spread the message, and help someone else with it, because that's what Once a Week's goal is, to help whoever we can. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Once a Week below so we can get that number up and spread it to those that need it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Cochise, thank you so much for being here. If you or anyone you know needs a life coach or results coach to help you take that step forward for yourself as we just described, go to BillyGLifeCoaching.com. I'll be right there for you, and you can set up your own free call. Thank you, guys. Cochise, thanks again. Awesome. Have a good one. Phenomenal.
I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game.